Welcome to another My Outlander Purgatory recap. This week, we continue our Season 7 coverage with a recap of Episode 706, Where the Waters Meet. Ready? Then pour yourself a wee dram, settle in, and let's do this. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Tracey.
I'm Carol.
And we are My
Outlander
Purgatory. Both say purgatory together, I think. I think we used to way back in the day, and then...
Why? I kind of hate purgatory.
I don't think anybody's ever thrilled with purgatory and being
If I ever knew that people would actually read this stuff, watch this stuff, and that Diana Gabaldon herself we would eventually meet her, like, so much I don't even want to get into. Do you think that I would have been like, yeah, let me name this blog My Outlander Purgatory?
I like it. I think it works. I mean, I don't know, for all the newbies in the world who watch us, now that we're on TikTok and, all these new viewers are coming.
And all 106 viewers.
I'm at like 117 now, last we checked. So it's a week. Week and a half. It's pretty good.
Imagine if we paid attention to followers 10 years ago.
I know.
When everyone else was doing contexts and like and share.
I know.
And we were like, yeah, whatever. We just want to talk.
But purgatory, for those of you who don't know, who are newbies, is like when I think, you actually started it
yes,
with the Twilight blog. And it's like when you finish a series or a really good TV show or
in the middle.
In the middle? See, I thought it was when you're done.
It happened in yoga class when I was hallucinating Edward. And I realized I was in New Moon and I realized I could stop. I could stop anytime I want. I could stop right now. I don't have to go further in this series. I'm happy. I'm content. I could stop because it hit me all of a sudden that, oh my God, I am obsessed. I am 100%. I am so all in. But this is going to end at some point and I am going to be devastated. So it's that moment when you're in the midst of it and you're loving it and it freaking comes crashing down on you and you realize, oh my God, this is going to end. That's purgatory.
I thought it was when you were actually done. I mean, I guess it's sort of the same concept, but when you're done and you're looking around like, where's the next one? There's no next one?
Right. No, then you're in hell.
Oh, that's
hell. And loving it is heaven. Being finished and miserable is hell. Being in the middle of it when you love it but you know it's going to end is purgatory.
I learned something new every day about our title. There you go.
And purgatory sounded great when it was Twilight Purgatory. It matched, eclipse and new moon and all that. But then I did Outlander and said, oh, I'm just going to call it My Outlander Purgatory, thinking no one was ever going to pay any attention to this. and here we
13 years later, here we are.
And here's no, you were right, 14. And here's everybody like, the hell is purgatory? What a stupid name. And I have to say that along the way, I did a bunch of purgatory blogs, but I've pretty much, I don't know, I can't remember if I've taken them offline or what. I mean, it was
there is My Purgatory still.
There is My Purgatory. My problem is that all I do is update it with the Korean shows I watch. I have the most recent post. I just go in like every 2 weeks and put in the latest Korean show that I'm watching.
I don't know. I think you've sort of moved from the blog world to like more of the multimedia world.
I had a revelation the other day.
What?
And oh my God, it hit me like a ton of bricks. So you guys, Tracey and I watched these screeners, and Tracey, you don't know what I've been doing lately. So I'm really visual. And when we do these videos, like if I don't have either the video going or photos or something, I'm like, I get lost. I'm like, where are we? And then Tracey's like, keep up. And what are you doing? And I'm like, let me take my notes. I even do that with the pictures. So lately I've been taking notes and I've been screenshotting photos and inserting them into my notes. And my notes, I'll be honest, they're kind of funny sometimes. So I'm like, Jesus, I'm still blogging. Like, I might as well be, this is what blogging is, with the graphics and the text. And I'm like being funny and I'm laughing at myself going, that was pretty funny. And then I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I not blogging?
There you go. I mean, you could blog, when we release the videos, do it this week. Do it this week, and we'll have two.
For your country.
Do it this week, and we'll have 2 posts about this episode. How's that?
You better believe. I keep every week. I'm like, it's gonna be this week. It's gonna be this week. You guys, I am gonna have no choice. That's why I blog when I can't stand it anymore and I've got to get it out. That's 100%. I'm gonna have to blog. I've already blogged Echo and the Bone. I've got, this much of blog posts years ago, but I'm going to have to do it again because once they start getting into stuff that I need to talk about, then I'm going to blog.
I don't think it's going to be till the next part of the season. That's just my opinion.
That's
just knowing what it is.
This is when you are so good at it. I need to do it. Go to the book and like, how far in was Ticonderoga?
Ticonderoga is actually, I put the book up there and I closed it. I mean, I think it's more than halfway through. But I just know like how much stuff there is still to get to. I don't know. We shouldn't even talk about it because you will say. What are you drinking this fine evening?
Oh, the same damn thing I always drink. How about you?
I know. I think I forget if this was last week's wine. It might have been the Donkey and Goat. And this is like, it's a sad, sad week when like I'm drinking last week's wine and I still have like a good third of the bottle left that I have not even finished.
You guys, whenever I when I have wine left in my glass and then I just, for whatever reason, I ate my dinner and I just don't want it, I tell my son, okay, you can throw it out, but don't tell Aunt Tracey. I'm like, she's going to kill me. She would kill me if she knew. The other thing,
the thing you would be likely to do is, because I feel like we've told the story before, like you had some wine and you were like, oh, so-and-so brought this wine. I don't really like it. It's like this or whatever. And I looked it up. I'm like, Carol, it's a $40 bottle of wine.
And I was like, ew.
I was just going to throw it out. I was like, no, you leave it in that refrigerator. I will be able to drink it.
and meanwhile, didn't I send it home with you? And meanwhile.
No, we finished it. We finished at your house.
I didn't. Here I am with my, on a bad day, $16 bottle of wine. On a great day, $9.99 at Wine Express or something. I don't know.
I had grand plans for a specialty drink this evening and it just didn't happen because, like, of course, as it wants to do, like the universe knows we're filming tonight. So it decides to dump all this like work shit on me. And yeah. So anywho, I'm just glad I have this. It tastes so good when I drink it. It's so good.
It feels so good. It feels so good in your throat.
Okay, you guys, before we get started, we want to remind you,
please like us and follow.
You guys are doing so good. You guys, I haven't checked today, but we are almost at 4,200 YouTube followers, which is like, we weren't even at 4,000 when we started, and we started begging.
And we started begging, yeah.
We started begging.
Let us at least stay over 4,000 for Droughtlander.
And we're again at 100. So let's say 120 TikTok followers. It's pretty. Oh no, maybe 110. No, 120. I don't remember, but it's pretty good for like old ladies on TikTok.
It is, and I have to give Tracey all the credit, you guys, because she's done all of it. I am not TikTok savvy. I deleted it for a while, and she's done it all. So
And we are on Threads as of yesterday, but there's nothing up there yet because God, there's just not enough hours in the day for all this social media. I don't know how people do it. Like you youngins, you like Gen Z that like have full-time jobs and are influencers in your spare time and are on 17 different social media platforms pushing shit out. God love you. I need to take a class from you or something because I don't know how the hell you do it because I can barely keep up with 5 of them and a job. So there you go. All right. We've yammered enough. Shall we start the evening's entertainment? Da, 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 da.
I thought we worked this evening.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yes, Tracey, drum roll, please.
Okay. So this evening we are at Outlander. Oh, I didn't even change this. Wait, it's Outlander episode 706, right? I didn't change this to 705. 705. So it's 706. We have 2 left after this. I know, right? It's gone by like, oh yeah, it just went by. What? Oh, are you in season 7 Purgatory?
I'm gonna be. I mean, I'm there now because I can see the darkness at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah. Well, Troutlander this year, hopefully it won't be quite as long. Although, before we start, and I didn't even talk to you about this.
Dear God, what's coming? I'm afraid.
I was just like, I was gonna say, we haven't really talked about like the SAG strike, and the writer's strike.
Oh.
And how that's gonna impact a lot of shit. It's not gonna impact seasons. Well, here's what's gonna happen. Well, no. Hopefully it'll all be resolved and the studios and all those other people will come to their senses and pay the actors and the writers what they're worth and get rid of the AI shit and get rid of and give them some residuals that like they can earn a living at. Hello, streamers, I'm talking to you. So you can see where I stand on this line.
I don't even know what the line is.
I know. I'm a little.
And isn't that funny?
More...
Me, a little bit of experience in the film industry, and I am paying zero attention to any of it.
Right. I mean, I so hopefully that will all be resolved before season 7, the back half next year. It better be.
Wait, though,
we're gonna have nothing to talk about. But season 8, this is where this is impacting it because I don't know when they were supposed to go back to work for season 8, but they're not writing any episodes and the cast is not going back.
Okay.
Until the strikes are resolved.
Why would a strike affect season 7B, we'll call it?
It wouldn't. What it would affect
Isn't it done?
Yes. What it would affect. Okay, like you're gonna see this. I'm assuming. Well, I don't know where Clan lands. Not Clan lands. What the hell is the Graham and Sam show called?
Yeah, I forget what it's called. Sorry.
The book is Clanlands. Whatever it's called, I forget. I don't know where that. I don't know if that's like a SAG contract. What I was going to say is, if this strike drags on and on and on and on and on into next year, God forbid, God help us, to the point where they need to start marketing season 7 part 2, the actors will not be doing promotion. That's where that impacts it. So now, for example, like you've got Oppenheimer and Barbie, the movie starting this weekend, and those have been promoted because they've been out there doing it. But once the strike happens, like there haven't been any promotions this week because the actors are not promoting stuff that's they're forbidden to do so by the union. You notice like all of the nighttime talk shows, they're either in reruns or they're not running because they're not getting anybody to be on them. So that's where that impacts that. But where it's really impacting Outlander, and perhaps now, is in season 8, because season 8 has any pre-production is shut down. So that's a little dicey.
Maybe I'll finish the book before the show comes out. So all right. I'm on a beach vacation. I'm leaving my beach and I'm driving an hour and a half down to Cape May Beach for a week. So I'm going to be on the beach with the book for a whole week.
So any Carol stalkers out there,
you know where to find her.
I didn't take a vacation last year, so there was no
except for that big fat one that you did in Scotland. But you know,
well, yes, but there was no sitting around reading in Scotland. Duh.
Yeah,
so,
you were living it, Carol. You didn't need to read it.
I didn't need to read about the cookies that Jem ate with Jean because I was eating them myself.
But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. A, to like sort of talk, because it's sort of outlandery news. And B, like, I don't know, you know, we're sitting here kind of promoting a show that like the actors are not doing. And I don't really, and as an actor myself, that doesn't really get paid to act, but like does it nonetheless, you know, I don't quite know how I feel about that. So I just wanted to sort of put it out there and say, my brothers and sisters in SAG, and the writing and AFTRA and the writing unit and the WGA, we're with you. That's it. But,
she's with you. I don't really know what's going on, so I don't have a comment.
I'll fill you in for next week. So we support you. We're with you. There you go. Okay, ready? Okay. So it's episode 706 called "Where the Waters Meet." Is that like for Ticonderoga? I didn't really delve into that. Whatever. Okay. The writer is Sarah H. Haught, and the director is once again Tracey Whitney Deer. There's no cold open. The Easter egg is canoe slicing through the water. I mean, what?
And Sinead singing the song is the very beginning because there's no cold open.
I mean, it worked a little, the like whispery thing worked a little bit more for this one, I guess.
Well, I just wanted to make mention of, and I don't really want to even get into that because I did see some comments and I've seen some stuff here and there. And I guess some people are mad, some people don't like it. You know, I don't understand when it became a crime to not like something. That's number one. Nobody is saying I hate Sinead and I want to knife her if they don't like something about it. This is what I'm saying. I mean, sorry, that was harsh, but no, I'm not saying that I feel that way. I'm saying that some people like calm down. Somebody doesn't like it. That doesn't mean like she wants to steal her firstborn.
Right.
Second of all, I had a lot of revelations this week because I'm hearing Sinead sing and I'm hearing that raspy. In fact, I wrote it down. I have Sinead sounds older. And I love that. It's indicative of Claire. Claire has aged. They have aged. It sounds throaty. She's got a lower voice. And I have most likely from thyroid and menopause like me. But the bottom line is it all came crashing down. Am I like a complete moron? I didn't really put two and two together. I mean, I did. The maturity of the song and of her singing it. But I just all of a sudden thought of all of us staring at her giant face with her shaved head in Nothing Compares to You, how many times we watched that video over and over and over again. And I'm like, oh my God, Sinead grew up like we did. Like, so all of a sudden, once again, with the revelation, and now I'm just like, you know what? I love it. Like, I love it. She has aged like Claire has aged.
She had kids. She had a lot of issues in her life.
Yes.
She's had some hard times.
And bottom line, I don't even want to get into Sinead O'Connor's personal life. I'm just saying she has aged. We loved her when I was in college and we've all aged together and it comforted me. I found it comforting. And I know the rest of you are like, Carol, catch up. It's the 6th episode of the season, but it just kind of came crashing down on me and I loved it.
You're going to have realizations throughout the entire season, even into like, you know, it'll be 2 weeks out from the final episode of the season, and you'll like sit up in bed and go, "Oh my God, I totally get that now," you know, or like, "Why didn't I think of that?"
It's like I watch Arthur, one of my favorite movies, and every time I watch it, I've seen it a million times, and I still find something new.
Yep, exactly. All right, so I'm going to move on because William is back. He is Fort Ticonderoga. I loved that opening shot, by the way. They like sort of, you know, you sort of see like he's riding his horse past like a wall that looks really old and and then you turn around and all of a sudden you see the massive fort and it's all redcoats now. That was a great shot. That was really cool.
Yes.
So he comes into the fort and it's now controlled by the Brits, by the redcoats. and he is looking for and finds Brigadier Simon Fraser. Carol, you can take it from there. Wait, I totally lost that. Say that again.
Oh my God, Tony calls him Angus the Bruce. I literally haven't talked to Tony and Joe in 5 million years. And I was like, I really need to text them and be like, our worlds are colliding. You guys, I was involved with a couple films.
Well, wait, tell the people who this guy is. In case they don't know.
Angus Macfadyen.
Angus Macfadyen. He
played Robert the Bruce in Braveheart.
Mm-hmm.
And
but more importantly, turn, right. Well, no, I'm thinking of the part he played in Sugar. Like that's one of the films you have to explain that because they're not going to know that.
Well, I can tell them about that.
I know, that's what I said. You're going to need to explain that.
So, bottom line, how many years later? So, I got involved with these films. It's on the blog. Whatever. I'm not going to go on and on. But we start casting, and all of a sudden, I find out that Angus Macfadyen, who played Robert the Bruce, is going to be in this film Sugar that I'm working on. And and they totally called him Angus the Bruce. It was so funny. They get tight, I think Tony still talks to him. But I see him and I'm like, oh, because also, as Tracey just mentioned, he was on Turn, Washington Spies. And oh my God. But the fact that I was doing Outlander stuff back when we did Safe Light, back when we did Sugar. So, I mean, the fact that Outlander, he's on Outlander, I lost my mind. Lost it.
I just think, because I don't know him from anything other, because I've still never seen Braveheart.
I'm at a loss.
I'm going to take the Outlander's companion to protect me.
Okay. Braveheart, Monarch of the Glen.
I've seen a little of that.
My friend B is on like season 5. I watched that. I'm going to go back and watch the whole thing. And The Quiet Man. I know it's Irish, but still. Tracey. What is that? The Quiet Man is one of the greatest films of all time.
I know.
About a strong woman. About a strong woman. Decades ago, they made this movie about a strong woman.
Carol, maybe this will make you come to my house. Come to my house with the DVD and tie me to my sofa and make me watch it. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. I gotta look at my notes.
The Turn guy. I barely recognized him because he's all cleaned up, and in Turn he was really gross and disgusting.
It was his voice that got me.
Because I was like, what if we're going through this? And I'm like, Carol, take it away. And you're like, what? I don't get it. And you didn't know who he was.
Oh my God. No, it was his voice that got me. And I went, is that Angus? But I couldn't tell. I literally had to go and watch the opening credits and watch for his, and then I had to sit through the ending credits and watch for his name, because I was like, is it him? Is it not? Is it him? Is it not? He's really cleaned up in this.
I will ask you this. The actor's name is Angus Macfadyen. Is he related to Matthew Macfadyen of Succession fame and Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice fame? Although I'll never, having watched Succession first, I'll never understand how he ever played Mr. Darcy, because Tom on Succession is so great and so not a Mr. Darcy.
Is he on Succession?
Oh yeah. Oh, that you need to get on that too.
He was he was in Pillars of the Earth too.
Matthew Macfadyen?
The one who was Mr. Darcy.
Yes.
He was in Pillars of the Earth.
I want to know if they're related. Tell us in the comments, because I haven't had time to.
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, it's not like it's an uncommon name, in the UK. So, okay.
I mean, one is Scottish and one is English.
Okay. So in any case, so the plan, so they talk about the plan. So yeah, that's Simon Fraser, Jamie's second cousin or whatever. And so
that's
the plan.
That's another thing. He's not just on Outlander. He's playing Jamie's cousin.
It's interesting though that in Turn and in Outlander, he's on the same side. He's on the redcoat side in both shows.
I know.
So anyway, the plan is to cut off the North. Like they're talking all military shit, and then they're gonna march it to New England, and they're gonna cut off New England and go to the North and blah 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 blah. So William is okay. So he's back. So then we cut to the rebel refugees. And they made it to shore. They all like took boats there, canoes and whatever. They made it to shore, and they need to get to they need to find the rest of the army. So they're gonna like start marching. And Claire's all like, Jamie, I don't know if they're gonna make it. And Jamie said
like that.
What? You didn't like that, Jamie?
It's like, since when is Claire questioning? When is she Claire? It's Claire.
Wait, questioning like the ability of other people to do stuff?
I don't know. She was just like, I don't know. I was like, when do we ever see Claire like worrying?
I just thought it was hilarious because Jamie, and I wrote it down, he's like, if anyone's legs willing to carry them, I will. And I
wrote something down too.
Every lady on the ground was like,
I volunteer as tribute.
Oh my God, my legs can't carry me anymore. Oh, I'm feeling really weak.
I'm trying to find my notes because I wrote something down that he said too. I don't know why. I have something about Claire telling Jamie they needed rest.
Well, yes, she did tell them that they needed rest, that they were tired. It's been very traumatic, Jamie.
And what did you think about Mrs. Was it Raven?
Raven.
What did you think about her being like afraid of Ian?
Well, yeah, I mean that's she freaks out over Ian. Ian, who we might have to have a chat about Ian in this little time together.
Yeah.
But Ian, she's like, oh, he's gonna scalp us all, like, oh, he's gonna kill us. And Rachel's like, come on now. Like, I mean, Ian, look, she's like, Ian is not gonna hurt anybody. We know him. He's a good guy. He's all good. Like, have you met Ian, Mrs. Raven? Like, he's basically like Jamie Jr. at this point.
Oh my God. Well, I was thinking about how interesting it was that at that time frame, you're going to be, if you've never spent any time with, any of the Indians, you're going to be a little bit like what, and I'm sure it's unnerving because he's, the Scottish guy who's dressed like one of them. And
right. Well, the thing is too, she's the one whose husband and son were killed by Indians.
Killed. So that's what's bothering her is the way he's dressed, his hair, his tattoos.
Right.
But I just thought it was kind of cute because he's so not scary.
Yeah. I was like, she freaks out over Ian, for God's sake. All right. So they walk for a while, then they need to rest, and they're okay. So then they're hearing like, hooting and hollering sounds. And they're all scared. But then Ian's doing a little bit of like, this way and that way reconnaissance. And he's like, no. It's just the redcoats trying to like fake us out.
It's just redcoat dumbasses.
It's just redcoats trying to fake us out. So Jamie decides that, all right, you all keep going and my men will guard you. Claire will go with you, which I'm like, Jamie, always a bad move to
separate from Claire.
Yes. Like,
because if it's not about Claire, it ain't
there. So he's like, well, Ian and I'll go like distract them or like, cut them off or like lead them astray or whatever. So they're getting everybody, to keep going. And Claire's like, where's Mrs. Raven? I'll go look for her. I'll go by myself to look for her.
Yeah. I was like, oh, for God's sake, at what point
there's nothing, Claire, ever in our like 65 years or however old you're supposed to be.
At what point do we evolve from this nonsense?
All right. So we are now in the present. And we're at Jem's school, and Roger has come to talk to the principal because if you remember from last week, Jem got in trouble and he got little like raps on his butt or whatever for speaking the Gaelic. So as it turns out, the principal like tells Roger, well, he said something mean to the teacher or whatever in Gaelic. Oh, he called the teacher a haggard old dirt breath daughter of a witch, and Roger's like,
goat breath.
Father-in-law. Yep.
Goat breath. Haggard old goat breath daughter of a witch.
All right, goat breath daughter of a witch.
Freaking Jamie speak if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, Roger's like, oh my God, I can't take my father-in-law anywhere. So we need a moment to talk about how hot 80s Roger is.
Oh my God.
I feel like we have not discussed this yet.
Have we discussed
this
with... And how about third sister Jill?
I know. Well, I'm thinking maybe after this part of the season is over, we bring her on for a whole episode.
I think we're going to, but I also think while we're talking, keep talking. I'm just going to text her really fast and see what she thinks, and we'll get a little description.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, just 80s Roger, like that in that turtleneck. I'm sorry. Feeling hot.
Flipping hot, and his hair looks better.
Yes. Now, Roger is looking fine in the 80s, okay? Yeah, he is like found his time, and it's not the past, let me just tell you.
Exactly.
All right, so the principal is all like intrigued by this deal that Roger has to Gaelic. And then Roger's like, he's like, oh, you have the Gaelic, and Roger's like, yeah, I picked it up on the fishing boats. Yeah, that's the ticket. Like, Steve, a gent named Stephen Bonnet taught it to me. No. So he like yammers and hems and haws and, but the principal's all like, well, I've been wanting to have a class, about the Gaelic and Scottish history and, blah, blah, blah. People want it to go away. It's outdated, but, I want it to live on. So will you teach this class? Will you come in and talk to our students or whatever? And Roger's like, okay, sure. Why not? So we go back to the 18th century woods, and Ian and Jamie are just like killing redcoats right and left. I don't know what Ian's doing, but Jamie's basically like, with his axe. Boom, drops another one.
What did you think of the axe?
I know. It's
like that was so hot.
Someone was taking lessons from Archbug.
Oh my God.
Back when he liked you.
I was kind of like, what if it was your son? Like, you don't know where.
I know. Who. Well, look at this.
It's dark out right now. You can't see. You just see a red coat. Like, how do you know that's not your son?
I do think maybe he would know it's not his son because his son is an officer. So his son's not out in the woods traipsing around, making Indian noises and looking for like stray rebels.
Or like riding in plain clothes back from the hunters.
Well, no, but I mean, like, honestly, the Ian almost got like Jamie. How about Ian, like the end with his axe stance, like, oh wait, Auntie, I hear a noise. Oh, it's just Uncle Jamie. But I mean, Jamie could have gotten the axe right beamed with the axe right there.
In a Ralph Macchio stance.
Oh my God. We're totally spoiling about like, I was just...
What?
There's no part of me there yet, but that's the funniest thing all day. So he's like, sweep that. It's like, John is like, what's that? And he's like, sweep the leg. And then like, I don't know, he's already like, Daniel's son's already like maimed, but yeah, he does that.
Yeah, that. When you said Ian was in the stance.
That's Ian's stance. Oh my God, that's so hilarious. Oh my God, too funny. All right. So yeah, so he's very, shooting his axe around. At the same time, Claire is looking for Mrs. Raven, and she finds her just in time to see her blow her brains out. Like,
that's sad.
That was sad. I'm kind of wondering where she got the gun.
I know.
Like I didn't like, but at the same time, I'm kind of surprised Claire is not armed, especially if Jamie sent her out with the men, with the rest of them. Surprised he didn't slip her a little, revolver.
How do you know she isn't armed? She's probably got the dirk in her boot or something.
She's got it's the skinzu. The little knife in the boot is the skinzu. The dirk is the big one. The dirk is
the skin do.
Yeah, she probably
but
has that.
Back in the Outlander days, didn't even Diana think the dirk was the one in your sock?
I don't think so. I think that was always the skin too.
All right,
And
whatever.
because the dirk was like a foot long, maybe.
I know.
That's
I've
on your
been to
belt.
the Scottish festival.
I know. I've held some in my hands. Maybe you're right. Maybe she does a revolver. I don't know. But like, I mean, it was very sad, but I still, because I have no soul and I'll laugh at anything, I thought it was really funny that like she blows her brains out and they're still checking her pulse.
I was like, what are you doing? I thought the same thing. What? Her head is like falling off. There's no blood left, and you are checking her pulse. Claire will just try to help.
Claire just, she's not going to give up till the very last end of it. But unfortunately she gets captured because, the whole gunshot thing, like, I guess they heard that and they came, the redcoats came running, she gets captured. And
what did you think about that?
What, her
about Claire being a woman, getting captured? Like, I just sort of thought she's in plain clothes, like in the woods. Like, lock her up. Like, I don't know. Like,
they must know that, like, they must know that everybody fled from Fort Ticonderoga. So they must be after them, all of these people that left. And they're chasing, pretty much because they're all rebels.
But why? You're going to chase a woman through the woods? Like, what?
Look at who was all penned up when she gets there. Half of them are women. Most of them were women. I mean, a rebel is a rebel is a rebel. I mean, are you going to hang for like being a rebel if you're a woman and you're just kind of like, like, yay, I'm a rebel. And you didn't really like, advertise it, or like you're not a general or anything. You're not going to hang, but you're going to get captured. Sure.
And then I was all conflicted over the food, about them not having food, not having water, like having all these prisoners in here and giving them nothing. And then
I think they explain that really. I mean, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but I think
they don't have it.
Well. They don't have it.
Right.
Yeah, they don't have. They can't do anything.
Right.
So anyway, they, next thing you know, Denzel's like running around looking for Jamie, and Clara captured, whatever. And I did like how Ian was all like, I mean, I don't know if this is the time to talk about Ian. Do you want to talk about Ian?
Sure.
You have feelings about Ian. I feel like Ian, like I just said before, he was sort of he's a little too Jamie Jr. for me right now. And I really would like to see less young Ian and more, there's always a balance with Ian. Ian is that before the Mohawk and after the Mohawk. And the character of Ian kind of after the Mohawk is both of these things. And I feel like right now, show Ian is a little too much of young Ian and needs a little more of Mohawk Ian.
Right.
And it's really hard to explain that or like how that happens.
I just feel like he's sort of like jumping up and down, like, pick me. Like, I can help. It would do
like
me
I literally
good
and I know exactly the scene.
Good.
I know exactly the scene that you mean. It's when Jamie's like, okay, I want to go rescue Claire. He's like, no, Uncle, I want to do it. And Jamie's like, huh? And Ian's like, I can do it. Uncle.
He's like, I've got the dots. I've got the hair. Please,
I can
Uncle.
do it.
Please, Uncle.
I can do it. Please, Uncle. Let me do it. And I'm like, that's young. That's boy Ian talking. That's not Mohawk Ian talking.
But
Mohawk.
Sorry.
No. Go ahead. Because I
can just already see the mess ups. Like, it's almost like they're at the Regal Beagle. Like, you just it's just something bad. Like, you just know he's not going to be able to close the sale.
I don't know how to fix it. Like, I don't know how to make it better. I hate to say in the books, and I'm sorry, like, for all the people who get annoyed when we're like, in the books, they do this, but in the books, Ian, like, I feel like in the show Ian has been made when he first came back from the Mohawk. I mean, he was a Mohawk through and through. You know,
right?
He really
more so. It was more than just hair that did this and a bunch of dots
and a bow and arrow.
Yeah,
it was a presence, and I feel like that presence is not really there anymore. I feel like it's back to being young Ian. I feel like it's a Scot with a mohawk and a bow and arrow.
But he's been living, you know, in the literature. I try not to say in the book.
In a work,
he's
in some
living,
work.
You know, when you read a Diana Gabaldon novel, and for those of you who have not read the books, there's a lot. I mean, she'll be the first one to say she's very descriptive, she's very detailed, and she goes off on this tangent and that tangent, the way Poldark runs this way and that way on the horse. So you are constantly reading about Ian being off in the woods. He does not, and I mean, that's the story now too. He comes, he goes, he comes, he goes. He lives here, he lives there, he lives with the Mohawk, he lives with them, he lives with whoever in the woods. But honestly, for all intents and purposes, as far as the show goes, you're pretty much just seeing him with Jamie, Claire.
Right.
That's why.
I don't know if he is supposed to live at the big house or did live at the big house. In the books, he does not. In the books, like Carol said, he hangs with the Mohawk as much as he does with the Scots.
Right.
And I just feel like we've kind of lost that. And he's just another member of Jamie's family now, where there's a whole half of his mindset, of his I don't want to say soul, but like his being that's not represented. And because of that, like sometimes it makes it harder to buy him as what?
I don't know what I just said, but a fellow who served in the New York State Assembly named Carl Hasty or something, literally like Siri just blobbed it out on my screen and a picture of him and a bio and started talking. And I'm like,
did Alexa hear you?
That was bizarre. All right, keep going. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's,
I don't remember what I was going to say. I think it was more just
sorry.
Like, it's more just like, what I was gonna say is I really liked this part where excuse me, I'm just so phlegmy and whatever. I liked this part where Ian, I like this part where Ian kind of like saw like right away, it was like there it was a redcoat or somebody, she was dragged, like she's reading the tracks, he's doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. That was interesting to me, and it wasn't. I think it's something Jamie would probably pick up on too, but Ian did sooner. I don't know. I just like I found that it's not like it bugged me. It's just Ian needs to be more of a bad boy.
I know.
Ian needs to be more of a bad boy.
I know.
And I don't think it's John Bell. I mean, John Bell is a wonderful actor. I think
absolutely.
A great job.
It's not him.
But
he's reading the lines. He's following the direction. I mean,
Ian needs to. We're not seeing that. We're seeing like even at the end. Same with Rachel. He's a sweet guy.
Right. At this point in the books, you're sort of. He's like mini me Jamie, but I don't want to say that not in a good way in the show, but in a better way. Like he's sort of like tough and
he's Jamie's equal in the show is what he is. I'm sorry, in the books. In the books, he's Jamie's equal. In the show, he's Jamie's like child.
Cute little nephew who has to get taken back to his mama in Scotland. But he's honestly in the books at this point, you're like
Ian's a man.
Yeah. You're sort of crushing on Ian. Not and I can hear it now. What do you think? You're not crushing on Ian? Fine, crush on Ian. That's not my point, which is your point, which is he's just not quite there.
He's more he doesn't have that element of danger.
No. He's still Jamie's little nephew.
In season 5. I think when he came back from the Mohawk, most of season 5, he had that element of danger. I think he's just kind of morphed back into the young Ian kid
Well,
with a mohawk and
not
bow
only
and arrow.
that, like, I don't think we've ever seen really the mohawk. Like, they were like fierce. They were feared. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't think we've really seen much of that anyway in the show. So, and
Right.
listen, maybe it's just a matter of they not complaining. We're observing.
Right.
Maybe it's just a matter of they just don't have the time to get into all that, and they just
right, or like the resources. You know, they don't want to hire. You know, because I think like part of it's for me is like you never see him like with his mohawk friends. Like, oh, you know, here we are, Ian to Claire. Like, here's all my friends, or like we're going off to hunt deer for a week. See ya.
You know, a shot once in a while of him like crouched down in the brush with the Indian friends, like hunting, would be cool, but whatever.
Okay. I have two things to say. Remember last season, at the end of last season, when Jamie, when the Brown, Richard Brown, like arranged to have Jamie kidnapped and they were going to put him on the ship to Scotland. Who saved him? Ian and his mohawk friends. And that moment was awesome. That was awesome. That was everything we need to see from Ian. Okay. And the other thing is that in the books.
Yes, good point.
Remember in the books, okay, when Ian came upon William in the Great Dismal Swamp in a couple episodes ago, in the books, it's not just Ian. It's Ian and like 4 other Mohawks that come upon him. And I don't know, the other Mohawk like end up leaving, but they're there for a little while. I mean, because again, like Ian's not just like jaunting along by himself, whatever. I mean, he hangs with his Mohawk buddies.
And in this,
like Mohawk, and I'm gonna say his Mohawk brothers.
His brothers, and they're out like hunting, and in this, he's just like standing around in a circle with them playing hacky sack.
So I don't know. You know, tell us what you think in the comments. I mean, this is a harder. I think I'm guessing that book readers struggle with this a little more than show watchers, just pure show watchers. You know, I think, I don't know. I'd be curious to know if you're a show watcher, what do you think of the character of Ian? Are you buying him as a Mohawk? Do you? I think if you never read the books, I think he's like, you see him as Jamie's nephew, and yeah, he feels like he has something to prove to Uncle Jamie, and he feels like what's the opposite of paternal? Like a child, like Jamie's, like he has to please Jamie or whatever. It's just harder for us in the book that are book readers because we have a different vision of him. That's
right.
All. That's all.
Not complaining, and this certainly we're defending Ian and defending John Bell, not defending, because that makes it sound like someone's attacking them, but we're not against him or them.
It's just, it's 2 different versions, and it's a little weird, but you know, whatever.
I don't even think weird, because then people say it's just you're allowed to maybe disagree a little with the writing or direction or whatever it is, and wish that he was a little bit more.
Right. I thought book Ian was more interesting because he was more layered. How's that?
I love it. Like an onion.
Like an onion. That's right. All right, let's move on because we're never going to get through this. So Claire's a prisoner. They're like penned up in like an animal pen or whatever. Everyone's hungry. Everyone's thirsty. Claire, is like, you, private so-and-so, we need water. Go get us some. And he's like, I'll try. Okay, bye. And then there's Walter from the last episode who got left behind.
Love Walter.
I know. He's so
And he was
nice.
fine for the first 5 minutes.
I know. Well, it just started like right before Claire got there. His little like whatever.
His embolism that she went to get herbs to fix it.
That too, because herbs solve all medical problems.
Walter, I think you might have an embolism. Go get some herbs. I'm all for natural remedies, but I don't think herbs are going to do it. And your cayenne pepper.
Oh, God. Okay. So now we've gotten to William has finally found the head honcho here. And it is back to Ezekiel Richardson, Captain Ezekiel Richardson, who sent him out on that dismal errand in the first place. So first of all, I have to say that whole office, I want that as my office. I want to build a little she shed and like just be like see that episode of Outlander, see that scene with Richardson, just make that as my she shed, like my little office. It's like the best. The planking on the floors, the little shelves. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Okay, so we kind of like wondered about this, and I think we were all in agreement that he did eventually deliver the messages, because he like was like, oh, you know, to Rachel, like, oh, so and so lives here, really? Oh, okay, good to know. But he did not deliver the messages. The messages rode off with his horse.
Kind of shocking, really, if you think about it.
Right. But he does an intel, and he's like, I'm intel. They're rebels, all of them. And Richardson was like, ever heard of spies, bro? Yeah, you effed up, bro. Sorry, but you did.
They have spies everywhere, and we need the same. Oh, Seth Numerick, where are you? Then Talmadge.
So William grovels like we've never seen him grovel before, and Richardson's like, yeah, get up, you get your chance to redeem yourself one of these days. It's all good. What do I think of Richardson?
The fact that he's a bit of a tasty tuna.
Yeah.
And Tracey, there are many facets of Richardson. In what way?
Just because he may or may not be somebody to, like, you know, keep in mind. Put him on your bingo card, if you will.
He may or may not be someone who what?
You want to put him on your bingo card.
I gotta be honest with you. When he first started in on him, I was like, at first I thought Richardson was gonna, like, that Richardson was not, like, I didn't see it coming that he was gonna, like, not berate William, but school William on dumbass. We need spies. They're spies.
Right.
I was thinking it was going to be Richardson's a spy, and Richardson's, did you happen to read any of those notes? And did you happen to
decipher them? You know, like,
did you happen to use your invisible ink decoder? Which they had. And I'm just wondering, like, and then it hits me. Oh, he's admitting they're spies, and, you know, smart.
I do need to
dumbass
say,
William needs to friggin' grow up.
Keep Richardson on your bingo card. That's all I'm going to say there. And I love William more in every scene he's in. I love him so much. I can't even tell you how much I love him. Like, the casting perfection.
Yeah. Yes.
So good.
Yes. So good. Wait, am I forgetting Richardson?
Maybe a little, but you just keep reading.
If I'm honest, it's starting to merge with Turn in my
okay, so we're back to Claire. We're out of the great office that I would like to stay in forever, and we're back to Claire. Walter's spitting up blood at this point, and we know he's gonna die, because, like, anybody ever on TV or in movies that spits up blood,
the minute they do this
or this with the handkerchief, you know, it's like this.
They're
done.
The minute that happens, I found it almost cruel. Wait, she gets there and the bandages are dry, which means they're healing nicely. And I'm like, yay, Walter, he lived through the attack. He's healing nicely. And then they rip the freaking rug right out from under me.
I know. And I just felt like, oh my God, they went to all that trouble. They had all those fights about his leg last week.
Yeah.
They went to all the trouble of the surgery, did all that work, like, spent all that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only to have him have an embolism. And, like, but would Claire know that might happen? Like, is that a common?
Yes.
Like, anybody in the medical profession, let us know in the comments.
Yes.
Is that, like, a common thing when you have an amputation?
After an amputation, sure.
Well, how do you... Oh, hey, did you get your medical degree since last week?
No, but I got a kid who's pre-med and calls me all the time to help her study. It's just one of the things that they're going to look for.
They had a test on embolisms a couple weeks ago, and so, like, she has to.
No, but it's not that odd. I mean, it's just something they're going to look for afterward. if this happens, that, and after an amputation, that's one of the things that can happen.
And I guess Claire doesn't really worry about it too much because A, there's not much she can do, but B, she got sort of like, they just had to leave and she couldn't do anything about it anyway. And she felt bad that she had to leave them there anyway. Okay. All right. So we're back to Claire. She's tending the sick. And like I said, we're still there. No, I'm sorry. So yeah, he spits up blood and Claire is like, I've had it. Like, we need things now. You over there, you redcoat. We
more
need
herbs,
all sorts of shit. We need herbs, and we need water, and we need food, and we need this, and we need that. But what she doesn't know that she needs is that she needs to shut up and look at this guy.
Yeah,
because he's friggin' Jamie's son,
right?
And how Claire does not notice that, because did you notice, like, so he like recognizes her, right? But he does this like thing with his head, like he turns his head this way. And you sort of get this like semi-profile that is 100% Jamie.
The
Claire
profile is Jamie.
Yes, the nose, like the sort of like not like big, but like just like kind of that Jamie's nose. Like the profile is Jamie, and Claire is too busy yammering like, I need this. I'm like, you're not seeing this. How are you not seeing this? So he's like. What?
Jamie didn't recognize his own daughter for a second when he first met her too.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like that's a little different in that like he had never seen her before, and B, like it was a completely different, like it's different. There's a difference between like, oh, I didn't expect to see you here, even though Jamie sort of worried that you might be here. And, I didn't expect to see you here because you live 200 years from now. I'm
all
sorry. So anyway, he tells her who he is. He's super grateful. He's like, you saved my father's life, whatever. And then he's like, oh, wait a minute. You're over there in the pen with the prisoners? Oh, you're a rebel. Oh.
Yes.
Super awkward, huh?
Oh, he was so annoyed in his William way.
He was super annoyed in his William way. He was super annoyed in his William way. But again, like I love him so much because I can't believe I love show William like I do when I hate book William.
And I love both of them.
That's so weird. But he's
no offense to him, but I almost feel like I loved him more in the book. Like I like him now. I just think he's a fascinating character. But I don't know. Anyway, keep going.
I'm appreciating him so much more in the show. So he's torn. She's a rebel, but she saved my father. I know she's married to James Fraser, who my father thinks very highly of, who is one of his best friends. So kind of like helping her wins out in the end. And he agrees to help her get some stuff. Food is a problem. And he sort of like takes her, he takes her in confidence. He's like, all right, listen, here's the real deal. Like, we don't got none. Like, it's 2 days away. Don't let anybody know, or we're going to have a riot on our hands. And then he gets all like serious and like, I am the boss of you again, whatever.
Yeah.
But like all through this, the courtly William vows are the best thing ever. Like,
Tracey,
weak
I
in the
think
knees.
you want yourself some William.
He's like 2 years old. I feel like so dirty.
Why Madonna doesn't, Cher doesn't. Cher's like dating one of my son's friends.
But he's just, it is those bows when he's like, I can't, oh my God. So good. It's so good. Okay.
And she, and I have it written down here that they burned what was in the storehouses because they're rebels. I guess that's what he was saying. Was he bitching about them burning stuff?
I kind of heard that, but like I was sort of in a hurry and I glossed over it. But like, are they? So wait, you're saying they burned the food that was there because it was the rebels' food? That was dumb.
But I literally have written down, and loyalists were the same way. So F off.
Why are you burning perfectly good food? Does it have cooties? It has rebel cooties?
Well, they would burn.
You're saying the rebels burn their food? Like, why wouldn't they take the food with them? Because
the
Jamie
bottom line is
Jamie couldn't carry the food because he was too busy carrying all of the ladies that needed help.
When they did stuff like that, it was to stop them in their tracks. You know what I mean? Like, you take away the food source, then they're going to have a huge problem.
Well, yeah, but that's more like a blockade. Like, you blockade the ship that's coming from England or wherever with support. Not England, but like, say, coming from, like, I don't know, Vermont, New Hampshire, wherever, like some port with supplies. You do some sort of blockade to keep that away. It's not like you're evacuating for Ticonderoga and you're burning all the food that you're leaving there. Like, is that what you're saying that they did?
I have her compatriots burned what was in the storehouses because they're rebels, which he must have said to her.
Well, that's dumb. I mean, maybe he thought they poisoned the food. I don't know. Whatever.
But they were all doing it to each other. The Revolutionary War is full of that. They just burned up all of it. My town, my tiny little town. They burned down the Union Salt Works because that was what they used to preserve their meat and everything. So
the only smart people in this war were Jamie and Claire. We said it last week. We'll say it this week.
If it's not about Claire,
it ain't there. Okay. Let's move on to Bree and Roger, shall we?
Please.
So they're discussing, because we did mention last week that Bree didn't say anything to Roger about, like, almost getting sucked back through time. Right. And we were like, that's a little weird. But clearly she has told him off screen, and they're discussing it through now.
Yeah, which I found interesting.
I have to interject one thing, because I was very ashamed. And we'll do better next time, you guys. Somebody in the comments on YouTube was like, how did you guys not talk about the bar that's in Bree Roger's office study, whatever it is? And I was like, oh my God, you're right. We are just terrible, but we should just, like, throw in the towel, because that's, like, so off brand for us. So I did get a good, like, screenshot of the bar. We might have to, like, talk it through. Like, that's a good thing for TikTok or something, but, like, it's pretty well stocked, I gotta say. I don't know if you noticed it behind Bree. I made an effort to notice it this time. So people, we are back on brand here. It does look like they have a good variety of scotches and whiskeys. Maybe some of those 80s, like, cream de menthe, some of those liquors, I don't know, that were popular back then. Maybe some slow gin, as I was wont to drink in college in the 80s. Maybe a little amaretto, all good at the Mackenzie bar. Okay.
I was just so happy she told him about the buzzing.
Yeah. So they're talking about that. Now, I know a lot of people in the comments last week were like, it's not a portal, it's a ley line. And I'm sure the book explains all of that. I don't have time to go back in the books and look for it. So if you want to talk in all the various comments in social media about what that is, the book readers, the show people that need to know how all that goes down, because I just can't. I don't have time. But
didn't one of them? Didn't she say something about a portal? I mean, I know they're basically.
They sort of explained what a ley line was. I didn't really get it.
They said that it went all the way from. He said, I don't know if he said where Claire went through the stones, or all I could think of was clavicairns, because that's what Diana wrote about. That's what the stones really was clavicairns, where we did our dancing when Mop went to Scotland. And right. That's basically the line that it's coming from, is clavicairns. So I don't know.
Yes, I know, but it's more like a line. But I don't know if it was a line from the North Carolina portal to the Inverness portal, the Craignadoon portal.
But Craignadoon is clavicairns.
whatever. But I mean, like,
it's not North Carolina because it's in Scotland.
It was just some map that Roger pulled out with all sorts of lines on it.
Well,
and
think about where they live. They live closer now to Craignadown, aka Clavicairns in real life.
Yes.
And that's what it is. It's an underground line that goes from there to where.
But is it like an electrical line or like a fault? Or
I don't know how it works, but it definitely brings the energy from.
But it goes to where? Like, this is the thing. It was Craignadown. I can't say it, I'm sorry. Craignadown to somewhere. He was like, here to here, and this just continues. Well, where was the other point? I thought maybe it was North Carolina and it goes under the ocean. I don't know.
No, you know. We'll talk about it later.
I do?
Yes, let's keep going.
Okay.
Okay. We can get in one more little.
Okay. So yeah, all right. So, but anyway, Bree is like, oh, Roger, aren't you supposed to be at like the school? And Roger's like, oh shit. Oh, here, Bree, help me gather all this stuff up. And I've watched this show twice. So I did like the second viewing of this. I did notice that Bree was not very careful about what she packed into Roger's bag.
Oh, okay. She put the book.
Just put it that way.
Yeah.
And we'll move on. Okay. All right. Back to Jamie and Ian at the fort. And this is what we were talking about a little bit earlier, where Jamie's like, okay, I guess I have to sneak in again and rescue Claire again. God help me. Like, I spent my life doing this. And this is where Ian's like, no, uncle, I need to be the one to do it.
Yeah, he's like begging. But wait, I just have to really quick say about Lollybrock. I have written down that I wish they would infuse scenes from now with some like flashbacks from before, and just sort of like, so that you could see that. You ever see when they do that sometimes in history, people will take historical photographs and then they'll take today and sort of superimpose so you can see it before and see it now. That would be really cool.
Yeah. I just don't know why they would do that.
Because it would be really cool to see Lollybrock then and now.
I know, but like, how does that like fit in with the story?
Who cares? Oh, just keep going. I'm the history dork. That's my claim to fame. All right, keep going.
That's for when you and me are like, they hire you and me to like do intros and outros before. Well, there's no commercials in Outlander, but like there could be. And then we would do the intros and outros, and we'd be like, wouldn't it be cool to see the old like Lollybrock and the new Lollybrock? Here's what it looked like. Or we could do a TikTok. That's a TikTok. We could do the old TikTok.
Maybe I'll do the infusing.
Okay. Okay. So in any case, this is we've sort of talked about this already, that like Ian's like, oh, I volunteer. And James like, all right.
He's Horseshack.
He totally is like. So Jamie's like, oh, all right, but Jamie's like, I'm gonna need your bow for something, and I wanted to be like, oh, Jamie, are you kidding? Ian sleeps with that bow.
Yeah.
Ian's never letting that bow go. Like, that bow is his like Mohawk, his portal to the Mohawk land. He never lets go of it. He's like, I'll never let go. So Jamie's definitely cooking up some plan to use to do something, whatever. Okay, so we're back to Claire at the fort. And this is sort of a cute scene where the little assistant redcoat brings in.
He got her herbs. That's what I was just reading.
Pretty bouquet, which is very cute, and water and this and that, whatever, but no food. But he's like, oh, and this is the compliments of the. What does he call him, Lieutenant Ellesmere? Is his last name Ransom?
Yes, but he might have to refer to him as that.
But wouldn't it be like Lieutenant Ransom?
Who knows?
I don't know. Whatever. And that curly wig line is right from the book, and it was very funny. He's like,
yeah,
whatever. It's cute. Okay. We've come to my favorite scene of the show.
Oh, is this what you were saying earlier?
Mm-hmm. This is so good. It is Roger at school. Roger at school. And in fact, no, actually, that might not be my favorite part of the scene, but the whole Roger at school scene I just loved. It was so cute. It like, if you didn't write down that this scene reminded you of
Kindergarten Cop.
We're going to play a wonderful game called Who is My Daddy and What Does He Do?
No, he was teaching the kids a little song in Gaelic, and it reminded me of our final dinner in Scotland.
Me too. Yes,
sang
yes.
with I don't know if it's Gillibrand or Gillibrand.
I kept waiting for him to pop up in there.
With the bard from season 1 was
Yeah.
at our final dinner in Scotland.
Right.
And we all sang together.
Song alas, that is gone, save that lassie eye.
And it just it put a little tear in my eye. It was so good. Yeah, but like everyone, it's kind of a full house. And everyone's kind of like into this whole, learning about the Gaelic, and like the kids are all like, oh yeah, I want to learn to curse in Gaelic. It's so funny. And Roger's like passing out like, here's some 100-year-old books. Look at them all. Here you go. And then he teaches the kids a song, and it's so stinking cute. It was just like, I was like, oh, I want to go back to Scotland.
I did think of that, and I kept looking to see if he would pop up.
I know. All right, back to the fort. Again, Claire's like, oh, here, Walter, drink this tea. And we're going to thin your blood with it. And he's like, yeah, but it's not really going to work, and I'm going to die, right? And she's like, yeah, sorry. Pretty much, yeah.
Just keep drinking. Stop asking these questions, Walter. Keep drinking your cayenne pepper.
No, here.
She gives a dying man. I get what she was trying to thin the blood, but I'm like, oh, this poor man is too little, too late. You are making a dying man who's suffering drink cayenne pepper.
Here's, if you really know that this guy is dying, Claire, you know what you do? Toss out the tea and just give him the flask. Just give him the flask.
You know what you do? You give him the flask, and you do exactly what you did when you finally accepted it. You talk to him about his wife, and you pull a Highlander on him.
Yeah. And like, I thought she had some laudanum or something that would like put him to sleep, whatever.
Right.
No. But she just should have just like given him the flask and been like, have your way with it. So we're back to Roger at school. And it's a big success. Everyone loves it. The principal's like, oh my God, please come back. This is great. And Roger's like, yeah, I'm feeling kind of lost. Like, okay, I'm into this, whatever. So Roger has a bit of a fan. Comes up, wants to say, good job, congratulations.
Yeah,
it's Rob Cameron.
Weird.
And this scene was my favorite scene of the show. The two of them, it was so awkward and so great. Like, it starts out with like, oh, this is great. I'm Rob Cameron. And Roger's like, oh, I know who you are. You work with Bree. And they're like, you could just like see them as two, like,
there can be only one.
Like dogs or rams or something. Just kind of circling each other, like hackles up, but smiles on. Oh, it was so good. It was. The testosterone was just coming off the screen.
Right.
And into my nose. And I was just like, I don't know where to look.
And Roger was trying really hard to hold on to that bravado, whatever you want to call it. But like Rob Cameron was just tearing down his walls. Just so damn congenial.
Right. He was super nice. He's easy on the eyes. As is Roger, but like Rob Cameron's pretty easy on the eyes. And for every like, Roger would like, okay. So for example, I've started taking pickleball lessons because, I'm of the age, I guess. So no, it's super
Aren't
fun.
We all? Once you hit 50, you're playing pickleball, whether you like it or not.
But anyway, the point I was going to make is, like you hit a good shot, but then the other guy hits a better shot back at you. And then you return that, and you think it's good, and then the other guy hits a better shot than you, and like that's the scene. Boom, 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 boom. But for everything that Roger, hits a nice backhand, and Rob Cameron just like lobs it back at him. And it was just so great. The whole thing was great. But okay, so
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Why isn't Rob at work with Bree?
Well, Bree's at work either. And then, but to your point, maybe I can't imagine it's a Saturday. To your point, he's supposed to be at the school at 4. Well, it is school. Yeah, I don't know why they'd be at work. Okay, he's supposed to be at the school at 4, which means it's like 3:30 there now. So why are both Bree and Rob Cameron at home?
Maybe they locked her in something else.
Maybe they work like 4 hours a day in Scotland and we need to move there.
I'll move there anyway.
Okay. All right. Done. Next week's recap coming from Scotland. You heard it here first. And so, Rob Cameron does give Bree like a lot of props. She's the best inspector we've had in forever, like whatever. So that's good. So Rob's like, I love all this old stuff. I was really looking forward to reading one of those 100-year-old books you're passing out, but all I got was, this book, which is like some weird novel. Are you writing a novel?
Yeah.
But this whole scene, oh my God, is like this. It's this novel. You writing a novel, Roger?
It's science fiction.
Really
That's
super
not
funny
what I'm
science
into.
fiction. How about I come over for dinner, Roger? And, oh my God, it was so
I don't know.
good.
I didn't really get the winking. I just was like, this is a little forward, and he just basically said, like, yeah, it's science fiction. It's not my thing.
Well, I felt like he knew more. I don't know. Maybe it's just like, I read the book. I'm not going to say what happens or if anything happens, but like, I felt like there was an undercurrent there of, novel. Okay. Really interesting. Super interesting. How about I come over for dinner and we talk about it? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I can't do that. My eye stickers are going to get stuck.
And then the look on Roger's face is just so great when he realizes, like, shit, what have I done? Oh, I'm a dope of all dopes. Yeah, Rob is just great. He's clearly suspicious in my mind anyway. You're writing a novel, oh, okay. And yeah, so he basically invites himself to dinner and Roger's like, okay, sure.
Look who's coming to dinner.
And then he walks away, and I know this is like super not PC, but he has really nice ass.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Damn. Holy. Have I been single that long?
This episode is an embarrassment of riches when it comes to the hot men. Yes. Very, very good.
Wow, how did I miss that?
All right, back to Claire at the fort. Walter's done. Walter's done.
R.I.P. Walter.
At least she doesn't take his pulse, after being dead.
I'm surprised she didn't jump down in there with him. Yeah, poor Walter. And Ian's playing
R.I.P.
hacky
Walter.
sack.
R.I.P. Walter. And this is where, Ian's playing hacky sack with the Mohawk.
Ian's standing in the circle of Mohawk playing some hacky
They're like
sack.
at the water cooler talking about like, the latest show they've seen or whatever.
Yeah.
So Ian basically is like, it's Claire or whatever. And then he sees who's coming down the stairs and it's William. And he's like, oh shit. And Claire like sort of hides off the side. And William is like, oh my God, I need to thank you for saving my life. And I feel like there's a lot of bows that are really good here too, but I didn't write them down. Or maybe it's later. But William finally puts 2 and 2 together. And I mean, I gotta say, this is another thing. Like, Ian, play it cool, bro. Don't be like, okay, thanks, bye, William. Like, good seeing you. Check in later, bro. Okay. And Claire, like, give it some time. Like, make sure he's like out of the way, bro.
I know.
I
noticed the same thing goes right back. I'm like, dude, he's gonna turn around. berate her or
chill.
something.
Make sure he's out of the range of like sight here. So Ian and Claire try to convince William, like, you know, just let us go. Like, it's whatever. It's you know, and all of a sudden there's a big explosion and you can see like somebody is like shooting arrows and lighting the gunpowder on fire.
And am I correct? Was there like little like banjo-y music going on at this? It was kind of like I can't remember. I could be 100% wrong. This is what's in my head
don't
right
remember.
now.
I don't know.
It's like the
maybe, but William is basically like,
again.
I mean, it was good. It was a good scene because it was like William's like, a life for life. That's it. We're done. We're even,
Right.
Steven.
Right.
Don't come back, bro.
Right.
Or you're
Right.
going to be in trouble. You know, it's interesting because I was just like, is this how it went down in the books? It sort of is a little bit, but this is really how in the books, Denzel Hunter actually also gets captured. And it's kind of how they save Denzel in the books. But they also do save Claire just in the same way. It's just that the Mohawk are also there, and something goes down with them, and Claire and Ian just sort of get away without William like seeing them. I mean, there's a little bit of discussion, but then they just escape without any sort of like, you know, that's it, we're done, we're even, Steven, whatever.
Right. It might have been nice to have Denzel in there with her.
I don't know. It was two separate incidences that were kind of similar. I don't know. That's how it goes. I have written down, could Ian have talked him out of it? And I don't know what I mean. Could Ian have talked who out of it? Could Ian have talked William out of it? I don't know. Maybe
Jamie,
without
like lighting up the place.
Maybe without Jamie's diversion, could I don't know.
Oh yeah, if Jamie didn't
like
do that, could William have talked? Could
Ian have talked?
Ian have talked William out of
yeah. I think that's what I must mean, because I was sort of thinking like, well, how did Jamie know when to shoot the arrows? Like just at the right time,
right?
Like, and that's kind of, you know, suspend disbelief, whatever. All right, Claire and Jamie are Claire and Ian are back in the woods, and this is where, you know, they meet up with Jamie because Ian is all like, you know, sweep the leg.
No, uncle.
Claire, and of course Claire is upset at leaving all the women and children back at the camp, and they talk, and Claire has the brandy, and Jamie's like, where'd you get it? And it's like, your son gave it to me.
Right, but not I don't remember the way I was just going to say that, but don't forget the makeout sesh that happened in the woods as soon as they found each other.
Oh, well, you're always going to, if you've been apart for more than 5 minutes, you're guaranteed to make out sesh.
There is so much, guys, I'm finally going to say it. This is the one thing that's exactly like the books, is people have makeout sesh. Like after they've been kidnapped for days, haven't eaten, have like the worst rank breath on the planet, which this isn't just Outlanders, there's plenty of other. And then they're like making out, and I'm like, I don't care how good looking he is. No. And in this instance, Claire's breath has to be worse than Jamie's.
I don't think anybody's breath is great, but like, you know, maybe if it cancels each other out if they don't notice their own stink.
Oh,
you know?
no.
Oh my God. I know. So, all right. So they go south, they're meeting up with the refugees. And they're talking about the Claire voiceover is talking about how Jamie's term of service is almost over, and they'll be to Scotland soon, which of course means they'll never be to Scotland, but okay, whatever. So Ian meets up with Rachel. And she's like, oh, I know why you came. You wanted to see someone very intensely. And he's like, yeah, how'd you know? Like, I did. And yes, it's your dog. And he's like, oh, that's it. It's Rollo. Hey, what's up?
I love Rollo.
Super cute. And that's not who he wanted to see. And, you know, it was just so funny. Like, he's like, if you ever find yourself unable to sleep at night, I'm like, where are you going with this, Ian?
Tiptoe right on into my tent.
And again, like, this is where I was just like wanting bad boy Ian, like, you know, because honestly, I'm going to say something awful right now.
Wake me up when you say it. I can't.
No, it's not awful. It's clouded by my love for William right now, right at this moment. Like, William is my bright, shiny toy that I like. I'm like, if it's between William, if I'm Rachel and it's between William and Ian at this moment, William, 100%, all day, all night.
I thought it 80 million times. First of all, I've always been a William fan. Second of all, 100%, you know, if you want to get materialistic, he has more to offer, all that kind of stuff. Well, he's rich. But like, just Ian, I always figure like she likes Ian because he's a bad boy. But he's not a bad boy. He just has dots on his face.
And a bow and arrow and a mohawk.
Bad haircut. That's it.
Oh my God. That's the problem in a nutshell. William is super sensitive, but he's like, it's hidden under all the bravado. So that's like interesting too, because as a woman, you're like, I can bring that sensitivity out. I can, change you. I can make you like realize that you're sensitive, and like I can peel back all those bravado layers. Ian just kind of like, I don't know.
I know, it's kind of disappointing.
And again, it's William is the bright shining toy. We've known Ian for a while, but we are seeing Ian as young Ian, the boy, and not Mohawk Ian, the man.
Right.
And, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say about Rachel and Ian at this moment. Except there's definitely a spark there. So we're moving on to Daniel Morgan in a chicken suit. What the hell was he wearing? Please. I was like, is he the Liberace of the revolution?
Oh my God. Where is the damn picture? Right there it is. Oh Lord, it was bad. It was bad. Bad. He's another one. I just keep writing people's names down so I can like Google and see if they're real.
I'm sure he's real. And please explain. I don't, you guys, it's like 11 o'clock here now. I don't have time to go looking up like his history in the comments.
Tracey, if you did, you would have to finish this video by yourself. I feel so rude to our friends out there, but this is the second week in a row that I had no sleep the last 2 nights for no other reason than I'm old, menopausal, and have thyroid issues. And I can see my eyes like going.
I know. I'm hitting the wall too. I mean, we don't have much more to do. I hate that
though. I like being like, hey, blah, 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 blah. So I'm sorry.
We're almost done. But where was it? Yeah, what the hell? I mean, no, this is what I'm saying. Like,
Claire
somebody who knows more about the history. Why was he wearing a chicken suit? Or whatever the hell that getup was.
I don't know.
It was like, I'm telling you, it was like he was dressed by like whoever the Bob Mackie of the 18th century was. That's who dressed him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. But it's Dan. But okay, so he's. I mean, I don't really remember the show, The Rifleman, but I remember it being a show. I don't remember watching it or whatever. But like, yeah, he's a real guy, and he's all like, "You're James Fraser. I'm Daniel Morgan, and come with me. I'm gonna get you some nice quarters and show you my rifle." Oh, I'll bet you are.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
And get you one of these suits too. One of these chicken suits like I'm wearing. All right. So next we see.
Oh my God, I just took a sip of my water and you're going off about the chicken suit. I'll get you one of these too. At your size. So funny. It's bad.
Okay, so now, so Claire and Jamie got a nice big tent out of the deal. And so there's a lot of Jamie and Claire talk here.
And they're headed to Saratoga.
So yeah, because of course, You know,
He
Morgan's
says
like,
yes without even asking. And
of course.
she says, I knew you would.
Like, literally, okay, again, last week we were like, whatever happened to the whole argument of like, I don't want to meet my son across the barrel of a rifle. Your son was literally in the fort that you were just at.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Like, you don't think you're might just meet him across, like, is that argument just gone now? Like, was that overturned? Like, you like tossed that out with the bathwater?
Right.
Okay. So we cannot leave the fight now. Yeah, I mean, he could have shot William with a flaming arrow. Like, that's how close William was.
That's what I said earlier about the axe. He could be anywhere.
Right. So he wants to see the battle through to at least Saratoga. So they're holding off for a little more. Claire's happy because if he's a rifleman, that's like a sniper. Like she's like, we call them snipers now or then or whatever. And it means you won't be close to the action. You'll be like far away.
And they'll make a movie about you and it'll star Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, maybe like if it's a really good, you know, like big budget movie like Matt Damon. Okay.
Like Mark Wahlberg doesn't get big budget movies.
Oh, he gets well, but I mean, it feels like it's I mean, they've actually
wasn't he a
movie.
sniper in that movie? That's what I'm saying.
Mark Wahlberg wasn't in the Saving Private Ryan?
No, I'm not talking about Saving Private Ryan.
The sniper in that movie was really good. I forget his name.
He played a sniper, and I don't remember what the name of the movie was. Keep going.
Okay.
Totally different situation.
This is, people are going to kill me. People are going to kill me. But this is like a big long scene with a lot of Jamie and Claire talk, and it's very lovely, and they're both great. But I'm like kind of like, what? Are you saying the same thing I am? Like, okay, fast forward.
I literally was like, I think I wrote that down. I think I literally wrote that down, that I was like, for a split second, gonna fast forward. Oh my God. And they're getting into a huge issue that is better left out of Outlander. Is this Diana written? Lord help us.
Oh, this whole scene, I could spot this scene as being from an Outlander book at 20 paces.
Okay.
100%. And again, it's written really well. It's lovely stuff. You know, it's the whole, why do women not wage war?
Yeah.
It's absolutely from the books. But, you know, it's late in the episode. I'm watching it like really quickly because we have to do this video and it's late. It's clearly late if I'm watching it and it's 11 o'clock now. And we filmed this right after I stopped watching. You know, it's just like at this late hour of the episode, it's kind of like, I love them, but like, okay, I don't need to hear this again.
No.
So yeah, they talk about William. Oh, I do want to say one thing though.
No.
What?
Tell me about my son.
Oh, okay.
That didn't come out right. Tell me about my son.
Don't kill me, you guys.
And I was like, oh, are we going to look at pictures too that you're going to fly through? Are you going to fly through pictures of Bree?
You just gave me a second win. Carol, God bless you. It's not just me. It's not just me. I was prepared to apologize for 5 minutes to these fine people that I'm about to go back to season, look, I'm getting all worked up. Season 3, and talk about how this scene killed me, this part of the scene. Because I said, okay, if you recall in season 3, let's do a little, like, you know, previously on Outlander.
What have I done?
Previously on Outlander.
This is why I don't sleep.
Claire, you're back. Oh, yes, Jamie, I have these pictures of our daughter. Okay, wait, let me, like, show you my new glasses that I got because I'm old. Okay, like, wait, here they go. Like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I'm ready to see the pictures of our daughter. Okay, Jamie, here's the pictures. Oh, really? Okay, I have a son, Claire. And he's great. Like, whatever. That's not you.
That's what that made me think of.
Okay, so that's how it went down, right? And I said always, okay, I will give you all of that, even though I hate it. It's not like the books and I didn't like it, but you got to circle back to Bree and I can tell you exactly when to do it. after the half-hour sex scene in the reunion episode, which we all remember, they're lying in bed, and that's where you do it. That's where Jamie says, like, tell me about her, draw her for me, or whatever. And Claire does exactly what she did in this scene, but about Brianna. That, to me, makes the reunion perfect. So they do it in this episode. It's about William again. If I'm Claire, I'm being like, how about I tell you about your daughter instead, you big putz.
But in this, the daughter isn't around, so
I know. And it worked for them to talk about William here. But I'm just saying, I swear to God, I wrote it down. Talk about William. This is exactly the discussion they should have had about Bree in the reunion episode. I wrote that down.
Right.
100%.
Right.
Sorry, you guys, but Grudge is my middle name.
True. I can attest.
So yeah, they talk about William. I did like at one point Jamie's like talking about how he minds killing people a little more because he's thinking about he doesn't want to end the life of men who've just begun their lives, having had most of his life already. And I thought that was lovely. That was like a lovely sentiment. But yeah, that said, it just kind of went on for a while at the end of the episode when I was really tired. So if I watched it first thing in the morning, could feel different. Whatever.
I watched it in the morning and I was like, it is too early in the morning for this. I had a lot of not problems, but some issues with this episode. It brought up a lot of stuff.
All right, one more scene. We're back at Lollybrock. Roger's putting away the groceries because he's Mr. Mom and he's doing the grocery shopping and all whatever. And his face is widow.
Dun dun dun.
So I love casual Roger, like, oh, look, here's this can. Let's dip it up, but I'm gonna just put it down.
Yeah.
So he runs after the guy. He catches the guy, flips the guy around. The guy is clearly from the past. Do we know who he is?
Yes, we do.
Do we know?
No, they
if we haven't read the
don't.
books?
No.
Okay. So we're
No.
not going to say, because you may not know if you haven't read the books. I will give you a little hint that it is somebody we have already met in the show.
Yes.
It may be a different actor playing it, but tell us in the comments what you think. But I think we can all agree that he's from the past, given the way he looks, right?
And that I think we can all agree that Roger is shocked at who it is.
Yes. Roger knows who it is.
Uh-huh.
And Roger is like, holy shit. And Roger clocks him. And that's the end. So I think Roger clocking him is probably another hint.
Yes. So if anyone can't figure it out, you go and you think about the clockage.
Yes. And you watch a couple episodes from season 5. And that's
tell.
pretty much like, we've pretty much given you every hint in the book. And that's it. That's the show. Carol, do you want to talk any more about like this episode? Because we have like about 7 minutes. Do you want to talk any more about this episode and what you sort of just said before, like that you like it caused a lot of feels or
PTSD? But honest to God, I have something about, I agree with his assessment about dying 100%, but it's too early in the morning. I don't know. I can't find it. There was something in here that had me, I don't know. I don't, it's too late. It's too late. I'm falling asleep.
It was too early then. It's too late now.
Yeah.
This is
listen,
anybody
anybody who's lost a spouse, but I mean, anybody who's gone through loss is going to understand that this episode in certain spots was just, it's just difficult.
Right. Yeah. A lot of what Jamie said in that scene towards the end was really, really lovely about like, you kind of appreciate, like, he's not afraid to die. He's afraid to like cause death, basically.
Right.
Because now that he's lived and he's seen and experienced so much, he doesn't want to take that away from anybody else. which is really an interesting thing to say and a smart thing to say.
Here's a way I thought about that in my own life today. I'm not afraid to get COVID. I'm afraid to give it to someone else.
Oh, I was always like that.
I wasn't. I was terrified to get it because you don't want to orphan your kids. But a friend of mine actually has it right now. And we're all like, COVID? You have, this COVID? But that's exactly what I was thinking today. Like, I had it. It didn't, very luckily, I didn't have any problems and, at all. And by the time I had it so late in the game that it wasn't psychologically upsetting me. But I was like, I'm not afraid to get it. Because she's like, oh, well, I'll be on day 7 and this and that. I'm like, but I don't want to give it to anyone, so.
I know. I sort of gave it to you. So
Tracey totally, by the way, you guys, Tracey totally gave me COVID. 100% outdoors. We were in the car together for like less than an 8-minute ride.
Yeah. My husband and I went to Carol's because we were going to see Ian, Carol's son, in a football game. And yeah, we were in a closed car for like 5 minutes. Okay.
We even had the windows open.
And then we sat outside at the football game. I think maybe we were in another closed car for like another 5 minutes back to your house. And that was it. Within 4 days, boom, Carol's down. Carol's down for the count.
And the irony, just the irony, because Tracey was quadruple masked at one point.
I know. And I got all the boosters, whatever.
And that's really was remember my theory? I'm still backing my own theory, which is the fact that I got it so easily. Her husband, you guys, did not get it. They sleep in the same bed. But
no, he got it. He got it. He just didn't.
I thought he didn't get it.
No, he got it. He didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't test positive for we knew he had it because for 4 days.
Wasn't it after me? All I know is who cares? My only point was that
yes, he tested positive after you.
I got it like that from her. And it's my theory is genetics. We have the same genes. So look into that, CDC.
I tested positive on a Monday. You tested positive on a Wednesday. And John, my husband, tested positive on a Thursday.
And I cursed you out on Tuesday.
I know. Anyway, we're at the end of tonight's recap. I think it was a good one. I think this is a good episode. A lot of action, a lot of plot, a lot of movement, some emotional stuff too. It was a good episode. This is home run. And kudos to these writers. They're because again, I don't really remember what happens in the books. I have to go back and read these parts of the books. And they are sticking to the books like glue. I'm shocked at how well they're adapting this book because this book is a beast. Yeah. They're doing a bang up job. So slow golf clap for them. So that's it. Please subscribe, like us on YouTube and subscribe, and comment because we love it and we read every single one and we try to like every single one. We might miss a couple of replies buried deep in the thread, but I try not to. And we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, Facebook, we're on Threads, and hopefully I'll get some content up there sooner rather than later. The blog, of course, you know where to find us everywhere. Comment, write to us. We love to read it. It's great. Let us know what you think of this episode. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the last 2 episodes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I know. 2 more. Next week might be a little wonky. I'm doing some traveling and we'll figure it out, but it'll get done. The background might be different, whatever, but we'll figure it out. And then we're done. And then one more, we're done. Yep.
Yeah. 1 week off.
1 week off. Yes, you guys. So next week there will be a recap and the recap is the most important one. There'll be an episode and a recap. Then the week after, no episode. So we go a little vacation. And then the week after that is the finale episode. So put it on your calendar.
Sorry, I'm having a hot flash. So I just was trying to crawl into the freezer.
Right. And we have about.
Can you see me turning more and more red as the seconds go by?
I'm surprised I haven't sweated out. All right, you guys, we have less than a minute on our little Zoom call. So
let's go.
Say goodbye.
All right, guys.
Have a great week. Stay cool.
We love you.
We'll see you next week. We love you. Bye. Bye. Bye.